Well, that very issue of police brutality has led to demonstrations, as we know, across the United States. And in Seattle, protesters have blocked off streets and set up tents to form a 6-block police-free encampment, calling it the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or CHAZ. The words Black Lives Matter are painted in a giant mural along the main street of the makeshift camp, which has been occupied by protesters since police abandoned the city's East Precinct on Monday. President Trump called the protesters domestic terrorists, threatening to deploy troops to clear them out. The city's mayor says any such action by the president would be unconstitutional and illegal. Well, let's speak to Kimisha Turner, the Seattle artist who painted the B in the city's block-long Black Lives Matter mural. Welcome to you. Thanks very much for being with us. Not out on the streets today, clearly at home. Tell us why you got involved in this and went out to take part in painting that mural.
Well, I am a Black woman. I have a Black son, and, I want to make sure that he has a safe future, honestly. And since I'm an artist, that is the only way that I can really show my support, is helping change perspectives.
And how did it come about, this mural, now called CHAZ, I was just saying?
Right. So 2 artists here in Seattle, Takia Warren and Joe Nix, we all kind of know each other, and they reached out and let us know that, we were wanted to kind of make this statement downtown Seattle. And it literally came together in 2 days. It was amazing.
And tell me what it's like out on the streets there today. I know you're obviously at home, but I imagine you've got a good idea of what it's like.
Right. Well, we have a silent march happening today. I can tell you a little bit about what was, yesterday, because I feel like there's different stories going out there. It was extremely peaceful. The business owners were super helpful, were very loving. There was thousands of people out, and everybody really supporting the movement and supporting what we were doing peacefully. There was no trouble. There was no, terrorist movements, as some people like to present this. But it was amazing support, and it's just the beginning. Again, this is the very beginning of these changes that need to happen.
Yeah, you're referring there to President Trump, who's called some protesters domestic terrorists. How does that make you feel? What do you think when you hear those words?
It makes me very sad, because it obviously means that he's not listening. That people who think that way really aren't doing their own research, are not looking within, are not looking at how racism and oppression is, deep and layered. It's not just black and white. It's the educational system. It's the financial system. It's the housing system. It's everything in one. And especially when, like Governor Cuomo was saying, if you can't trust the people who are supposed to be taking care of you and protecting you, then that makes it even harder. And you're always looked at as the enemy, basically.
We've seen certain states, we've heard from the governor of New York instituting changes today. In Minneapolis, they're instituting changes. There does seem to be a wave of support for change in police forces now. Do you feel that this is a breaking point, a tipping point, rather?
I do. I feel like we actually had a lot of conversations yesterday where we were feeling like this is different. The air, the pulse is different. People are paying attention. Changes are happening. Protesting does work when you do it consistently and in different ways as well, when you can all come together for one mission, basically. So I am definitely cautiously optimistic that this is something that's going to stick around, and that people are finally seeing the truth and looking in within themselves. A lot of difficult conversations are being had that needed to be had, years and years and years ago. So that's definitely something that's a positive.
Okay, really interesting to talk to you and get your thoughts. Thanks very much for being with us on BBC News. Thank you.